1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, what's up, guys? I am James Hake. This is the Hake Report. You just heard 3 hours of Hake guest hosting, along with the help of Joel, the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, and shout out to Dylon answering the phones. Thank you, man. Jesse Lee Peterson was out and is out in Arizona speaking. He speaks at, in a half an hour, I think is his scheduled speech at the Content of Character series over in Glendale, Arizona. 10:30 Mountain Standard Time, 9:30 Pacific Standard Time, I think. And so if you're over there, you may miss part of my show because you want to see Jesse live. I understand it, right? All right? I understand. I'm not jealous. But you can catch my show on podcast, thehakereport.com and all that stuff. I'm going to get to your calls. Appreciate you guys calling in. Hang tight, and appreciate we had some interesting conversations in the Jesse Lee Peterson Show where people were talking about the third eye, which is supposedly in the middle of your forehead, and I guess that's also known as the pineal gland. And people talking about they smoke pot a little, they know they smoke too much, they want to smoke just enough. Kind of like how you're supposed to drink a little wine, but not too much. Don't be drunk. And, I really respect men like President Trump, like Jesse Lee Peterson. Joel is sober. It's funny. As you get older, people talk about sober being like as though it's a bad thing. But when you're reading the Bible, growing up as a kid, at least I was a kid growing up reading it, or at least college reading it, be sober-minded, be self-controlled and alert. The enemy prowls around like a roaring lion, your enemy the devil, seeking whom he may devour. And I think about Bill O'Reilly, who he may have had other vices, I don't know, but he wanted to be clear-minded, didn't drink any alcohol. Same thing with President Trump. His brother drank, and he ended up dying over alcohol some way. One of President Trump's brothers. And so from that, he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, just drinks a whole lot of Diet Coke is from what I hear. And I think about that, I kind of respect it. And these guys are successful guys, clear-minded, and yeah, they're boomers, but everybody got their issue, right? So that's that. And I just noticed that people who are into the pot thing, because pot is an interesting thing, right? Because people compare it to alcohol, which alcohol tends to, they say, and they may be right, they make some interesting points, be more destructive. Because when you drink too much, it kills your liver or whatever. But I think maybe there's a type of thing where it's akin to you have it being, I took a call from Skip when I was guest hosting the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. And Skip said all these medicines, people are able to take all these medicines and be total sinners, degenerates, and contract HIV and AIDS and hepatitis C and all this madness, STDs and ASDs and whatever. I'm imitating Jesse a little bit. But his point was people are able to extend their lives and live comfortably taking all these crazy medicines. And I liken that to how the comparison of pot to alcohol. Pot just makes you whatever. It makes you different things. But people don't People are like emotionally attached to it, and they'll jump on you with their knowledge, but really, it's they're jumping on you with their emotions. Emotions, knowledge, intellectualism, emotionalism, all the same thing. All the same thing. It's all like pride. So, interesting. And I'll take some more calls. I have some people want to talk about that and other things. I told you guys that I loved the president's statement that was played at the end of the Jesse Lee Peterson show in the yesterday at the National Prayer Breakfast. And if I have a moment, I'll replay that for you guys. So, and appreciate your super chats. We will get to them. But first, let me get to some calls. Let me first get to Brian out of Concord, California. Brian, thanks for holding. What's up?
It's Ryan.
Oh, Ryan. Thank you for correcting that. Ryan.
It's
out of
all
Concord.
good. How
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I knew I recognized the term Concord, California. Ryan.
Awesome.
Hey.
Well, hey, first off, it's my best friend Marissa's 24th birthday. Could you give her a shout out?
All right. Marissa, best friend of Ryan. Female best friend? Nice.
Yes.
This song is for you. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Marissa, happy birthday. 24. Nice age.
Happy birthday, Marissa.
So what's up?
Anyway, nothing. I was just, it's been a while since I've called, and I was wondering, I wanted to talk to you about that dumb, wicked, evil woman, Nancy Pelosi.
Wow.
And how
Don't let
she
Queen Key 2.0 hear you.
and how she pre-tore up the papers. Did
I
you see
saw
that?
screenshots of that. I don't know if Trump retweeted that or what.
He did.
She like, so Nancy Pelosi, as you all know, tore up her copy of the president's State of the Union address, the speech pages. But before that, she had already torn up bits of it. So it would be easy, I guess it would be easy to rip. So she was planning it.
My thought process is one, she was too weak to rip paper, so maybe she wanted to see if she could rip it. Or two, maybe like the paper was strong and she thought that it wasn't rippable. But it was just funny how like the Democrats think that they like are sneaky. Like everybody on the right sees, what they're doing, and they're not getting away with any of it. It's all, thank God for 2020. It's all declassified through technology now, and it's like through Project Veritas and stuff like that. It's just really funny to me that, she ripped up this paper, and on the paper was like, a family of a fallen soldier, a young woman who's getting an entrepreneurial scholarship from Trump. Like, she's basically saying, screw the American people because I hate Donald Trump this much.
Yeah, that's so true, man. It was such a nice, uniting speech, but she was having none of it. What a shame.
Yeah. Well, they're going to lose in 2020, and 271 days from now, we'll be able to shock the world again. So
nice. Appreciate that, Ryan. Thanks, man. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. You know what? Real quickly, I was about to drive yesterday all the way to Arizona. If I didn't have work tomorrow, I would have done it to see Jesse.
Well, that would have been awesome, man. Well, no problem. You'll have opportunities again.
You guys are doing the men's conference again, right?
We are, although I have to say, stand by on that, all right? So we are planning something for the Father's Day weekend, right? We're planning something. But that is still in the works. And we are also planning the 30th anniversary, okay? So the 30th anniversary is going to be not on Father's Day weekend. The 30th anniversary is officially this Sunday, right? Second Sunday in February is the 30 years of Bond. But the celebration for the 30th anniversary will be late summer, early fall, maybe September at some point. So stand by on all of that. There's going to be something for the for the men, the Father's Day weekend, and then also something for the 30th anniversary. Okay, so
Gotcha.
we'll get
I'll
you that
obviously be
information as soon as we
listening.
can.
Yep, I'll be looking out.
Cool. Appreciate you, Ryan, and it was nice to meet you last men's conference.
Yeah. No, it was so much fun. That comedian was hilarious.
Nice.
The food was good, and I like that we were able to get up and ask Jesse questions. It's just really powerful, and
Yeah.
people come from all over to listen to him and seek his advice, so it's just amazing.
Right on, man. Take care, Ryan.
For sure, man. Yep, take care. Bye.
Bye. So let me get to Tony out of California. Tony, I think I've talked to you before. Thanks for calling. What's up?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Hank? And your co-worker over there?
Joel?
Joel, Captain Joel, the dancer.
Yeah.
But I was calling about the situation. I heard you speaking about marijuana.
Yeah.
Let me enlighten you and your crew about
Okay.
marijuana.
Are you black?
I'm 59 years old. Blacker than black, brother. Blacker than black.
Nice.
I'm 59 years old. I've been smoking marijuana occasionally since I was 13.
Dang. That is too young.
Okay?
All right.
Well, I'm just letting you know the
Yep.
history.
Good history. I appreciate that.
Now, my history is this. I have been using it for personal reasons, far as helping me, far as my blood pressure. It helps me deal with my anger. And also, it gives me a relaxation. Now I'm at the age of 59. I have arthritis. And it does relieve my pain of arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a more medical benefit than anything. The pharmaceuticals
painkiller?
of America don't want marijuana legalized because if they do, it will knock out their profit margin.
Interesting.
No, that's the truth. That is the truth.
All right.
And then back in the day, back in the 20s and 30s, marijuana was legal in America. But they made it illegal because they said white women was drawn to black men.
When they were high?
And that's the reason. Yeah, well, not just because they're high, because they got attracted to black people, to black men. And that's the main reason why they made it illegal.
They
in
made
America.
pot illegal because white women were attracted to black men.
And yes, when they
Amazing.
smoked it, they were started being attracted because they know black men was more dominant than the white man.
So I've heard.
So
Crazy.
that's a little history for you.
All
So
right.
Don't go on your nationwide TV. Don't go on the YouTube and downgrade marijuana when
Hey.
you have not did the research.
But let me respond to some of the stuff that you said, though, because you said that
Sure.
it helped
Go
you.
ahead, sir.
You said that it helped you with your anger. That
Yes, it does because it relaxes me. It
Right.
relaxes me. It
Yeah.
takes the anxiety away.
people do that with alcohol too. Wouldn't
Well,
it be
see,
better?
alcohol-
Wouldn't it
What's
be
that?
better, Tony, to overcome anger the natural way, the way that Jesse Lee Peterson and the Bible say, to actually overcome it to where you don't need the outside stuff to make you feel better?
Well, that's in reality, yes, it would be. But the thing is, sir, marijuana, it was there from the beginning. See, alcohol was man-made, but marijuana wasn't man-made. Marijuana came from the plant, from the ground, from God. And we haven't that.
Tony,
you
man.
cannot show me no statistics. Excuse me.
I said, Tony, man.
Well, hey, if you can prove me wrong, please do.
No, but that's a.
Well, that's it. Come on, man. I mean, I'm speaking truth to you.
I know, but
y'all
you're
don't
speaking
like-
facts.
I know
That's
y'all
not
don't
truth.
Like the truth on that station. I know y'all don't like truth to be spoken on y'all TV stations.
Man-made doesn't make it good or bad. Man,
Well,
man.
yes, it does. Because one thing,
Nuh-uh.
if you look at statistics, how many people have died in an accident from marijuana compared to alcohol?
But
Come on now.
that's silly because you're just distracting one evil for another.
It's not evil. It's
Yeah.
not evil. If it
Yes.
comes from God, how can something come from God and be evil, sir?
Because so does sex come from God, right? Supposedly, or something. And you're
what?
supposed to do it the right way, or not have it if you're Not married. And all kinds of stuff comes from nature and stuff. That's dumb, Tony. Are you high?
If a plant
Have you been
comes from the
smoking this
ground
morning?
that we use for medication.
You just
purposes.
hold on, Tony. Let's get back down to earth, if you can, and if I can,
I
right?
can.
Okay, so have you been smoking this morning?
No, I haven't. So I'm at work.
Oh, right on. But you're calling the show. Well, I appreciate it still, but
I'm independent, sir.
but you told me you told me that it would be better to overcome it the Christian way as opposed to the pot
No,
way.
I never. Oh, whoa! Don't.
Are you
push it.
Christian?
Don't be Bill O'Reilly on me now. Don't
Oh, I'm
twist
Bill
my
O'Reilly.
words now. Yeah, I know you is. But I hope you're not, because you know what Bill O'Reilly got fired from Fox News for, right? Sex can't keep his hands to himself.
No, he got fired because they're politically correct. They kiss up to women.
Well, hey, sir, he got fired. So there's got to be some truth to it.
No, you can't be doing that.
he-
Don't do men
he
like
was-
that. Just because he's a
Hey,
man you may disagree with.
He's not no man because he beats his wife.
He's a fellow male.
also
No,
beats his wife
who
up.
cares? Who cares? That's his wife's problem, not yours.
Oh,
Don't be a white
really?
knight.
Wow.
Wow,
Who
exactly.
cares? That sound like you're a Jew, Donald Trump conservative. Who cares? Who cares if he's guilty?
He's never been found guilty of beating his wife, by the way. That's just divorce
Yes, he
stories.
has. Yeah. Well, no, because she never carried in court because he paid for it. He
That's
paid
fine.
not to vote.
Hey, if she accepted the payment, then what are you mad about? But
the thing
Tony,
is,
man, Tony, are
it's
you
not
a
right.
Christian?
What is a Christian, sir? What is that?
You don't know what a Christian is?
I'm asking you. Explain to me what's a Christian.
First-
I believe in God and His kingdom. That's all I need. I don't need no.
No, but you
label
also need
calling
pot.
me-
God's not all you need. You also need pot.
Well, it came from God. If it came from God, I use it.
Whatever, man. So you're not
Huh?
Christian?
Come on, man.
You're not a
Keep it
Christian?
real, my friend. Well, I don't identify with no label, sir. I don't identify with no label.
Oh, you're liberal.
Once again, I don't identify.
No,
I don't identify.
liberals
I
don't.
deal-
Liberals
I deal-
hate labels.
I deal with right. Excuse me. I deal with what's right and what's wrong. I
Lies.
stay away from what's wrong.
No,
And
I
Christianity
don't buy that.
is what's wrong.
No,
Because all y'all do
if you were
is
for what's right, then you wouldn't be smearing Bill O'Reilly with rumors and gossip.
Well, no, ain't no rumors. It's the
Now.
truth. But the thing is this.
I gotta go, Tony.
Christianity is just
It's
like
been
a
nice.
buffet.
Let's talk again. Let's talk
Okay,
later.
have a good day.
You too. All right. What a shame. Oh man, I got a text from Bible Go-To Guy because Bible Go-To Guy, you heard in the by the way, I mentioned Queen Key 2.0 talking about the Pelosi. Queen Key 2.0 was someone who called during the Jesse Lee Peterson show who said Nancy Pelosi should be president. And Trump didn't have any business killing Soleimani because we were over in his hood. So, of course, Soleimani had to post up. Appreciate that, Queen Key 2.0. Anyways, yeah, Martin. Never mind. Bob Go-To Guy said, I'm saying all the wrong things. Afghanistan, madrasa schools teach hatred of Jews and the West to the youngest of students. That's what Bible Go-To Guy said in response to, there was a caller, I think during the Jesse Lee Peterson show, who disagreed, likes Jesse, supports Jesse and Bond, the missions, God's work, but disagreed about America going and meddling with Afghanistan and saying, hey, Taliban, give us Al-Qaeda. And we gave him a list. He said that we gave him a list of 30 items, and one of those items was we control their schools, which is a pretty strong statement, right? I mean, we can't even control our own schools. But Bible Go-To Guy points out that they're teaching hatred of Jews and the West to the young students in Afghanistan, the madrasa schools. So Bible Go-To Guy knows interesting things. Well, yeah, fair point. So anyways, just wanted to read that. And he has some interesting statements about the third eye thing and the pineal gland stuff. But I have a ton of calls. Jose out of Texas. Good to hear from you, Jose. What's up?
Hey, I had to call again.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, it's
This
not calling
should've
again because you called during the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and you
Right.
called during the Hake report. Double dipping.
Right.
All right. What's up?
Yeah, well, man, he was just speaking truth, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
What
my
about?
goodness.
What about?
Okay,
Joel?
about be wary about the smoking the pot. He was when he was talking to that one guest.
Yeah. True.
Man, he was killing it. And then with you and Tony, while I was listening, oh my goodness. and was he a liberal?
Yeah, he's pretty liberal.
Did he say? I mean, did he say he was?
He never admitted it because he doesn't like labels, and liberals hate labels.
So he's a woman.
Yeah. You know, it's a shame. He's 50-something years old. He's a nice guy. He calls into the show.
Yeah,
and,
he's nice.
And he has like this imitation of respect for Jesse and me, and I like that. But
Oh,
man,
what's
it's a shame because
imitation?
he's so
No.
immature. He's like a
woman.
yeah, 50-something years old.
Yeah, and when's the last time he smoked pot?
Recently, I think, because he does it because it helps him with his anger and it helps him with his arthritis. The pot probably gave him arthritis. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean, when he was talking about it, I mean, I can hear just Satan, talking out of him.
Yeah.
Promoting it and stuff like that. And you were telling, but yeah, like the devil, he deceives, even a little bit. That's why you just, you stay fully conscious.
Right.
Because God wants you fully conscious.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, and also when Jesse, whenever when you were doing the clips,
Yeah.
he was speaking about slavery, or that one caller asked him, he disagrees, bringing back slavery.
Yeah.
And I agree. I totally
The chain
agree.
gang.
I mean,
The chain gang for the prisoners.
or for the prisoners, yeah.
Yeah.
But like how Jesse, like everybody, like all, person of color back to slavery, because that's where you learn how to work.
Right.
And then slave, like for that one Owen Benjamin, he stated a slave is a free man with no vices, with no pleasures, and a king, he's a slave to as many vices he has.
Right. Fair
so,
point.
I mean, yeah, when I was downrange, and we have less freedom than a civilian. I was more free because I just was told what to do, and and then you just do it. What you're told, you do it, and you go on, and then But when you start getting that man working, that working spirit, that because God, he told man to till the earth, for
right.
for listening to his woman. So, and when we do what God tells us to do, like we're so free.
Yeah. Fair point,
So
man.
free. Yeah. And
The Bible
stay
says
conscious. Uh-huh.
the Bible says we're either slaves of Christ or slaves of Satan. Something like that.
Oh yeah, that's all we can be. We
Yeah.
can't be, slaves to any, ourselves or man or nothing.
Yeah.
It's all, God, God or the devil.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, people should be cautious. Start staying away from worldly things. Stop making it your God.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point, Jose. Good
sir.
to hear from you. Yeah, I loved Joel's feedback on that stuff. He's sharp. He's sharp because he doesn't smoke pot or drink.
Uh-huh.
And he doesn't
Oh,
even
and-
drink. He doesn't even drink kombucha, or he doesn't even have a caffeine. Really, he just does push-ups.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just does push-ups to wake up.
Dang, that guy is funny.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Dave.
Jose.
All right,
Appreciate
talk to
you,
you
man.
later.
Take care.
All right.
So, I got a call from Alex in Australia. Alex, it's good to hear from you, man. I've been off of
You too,
Discord
Jay.
forever. Alex, what's up?
Right, I'm on there. Yeah, I use that a lot.
Yeah.
I wanted to just talk, I want to say the last caller is like heroin, right, is made out of poppies.
Poppies.
And we
Yeah.
know how destructive heroin is on people. So
True.
like a lot of things are made from the earth. Doesn't mean we're supposed to ingest them, smoke them. You know, it's like, it's kind of a no-brainer there, is what he's saying.
Yeah, true.
Like poison ivy and stuff, and 80% of mushrooms that we would eat, you know?
Yeah.
We could die from that. Yeah, I kind of called about, we were talking about not DMT, my bad, the pineal gland in the third eye.
Yeah, that thing.
People were talking about, does it exist and stuff, and yeah, I've done the DMT, which is the chemical that allows that brings out the thing in your brings out where the bit where your forehead is and all the hallucinations and stuff.
Yeah.
And pretty much, first of all, I did it with a joint, like weed
Okay.
in a joint, then you put on top. Anyway, I won't get into too much detail. Anyway, you do go through a vortex where your forehead is, You go up through and all this stuff starts coming at you. Like you might see faces on temple and faces and stuff, and it's just cool coming at you, and you see genomic shapes whiz past you and stuff.
Yeah.
It is pretty. It feels real, but obviously it's you're doing a drug. But it's like we produce it in the body, but when you do the drug, it's enhanced immensely, and it's pretty intense. But all these sort of stuff, it seems to be that they could be getting into the thoughts, because Jesse talks during the silent prayer about be aware of your forehead.
Yeah.
Where thoughts come in.
Yes.
And so I believe that when I was doing that, even though you're subconsciously just believing you're doing the drug and spiritual or whatever crap, right? But you could be getting into what you're thinking, or with the drug, it's quite intense. So you're like, this is a cool, intense experience, but you could be getting into some stuff and not realize it, And people tend to go mad if they abuse those psychedelic drugs, because I don't know, just sometimes people snap from it where they don't come out of the trip.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, they just do too much of the drug. But all the drugs and stuff is usually to fill a void of trauma that people haven't dealt with yet, haven't looked into. And once I've come off drugs, and when I moved out, I kind of started doing that, and then I had to move back home because I was doing so much drugs and stuff. And now, I'm living at home, beta.
Oh man, you're living back with your parents, with the mother? Or
I know,
father?
I'm with the enemy, bro.
Dang, you with your mother?
I've been trying to. I found a place.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get out. Yeah.
Right on.
Get out while I can, right?
Yeah.
But I sobered up. I came off lots of pills I was on, as I mentioned last time, and it's really good to just you got to look towards the simple things, right?
Yeah.
Go out by yourself. Don't worry about the crowd of what people are doing, and worry about what others will think about you and things like that, and just seek God and good.
Yeah.
And then you can come off the drugs, and you feel at first it's like, oh my God, got all these issues, like a lot of junkies or whatever, they go, oh God, I can't come off with all these issues and stuff. But you just stay with it for quite a while, and you realize that the chemicals will restore in your brain eventually from just dealing with life. And a lot of people just want to kind of go outside because they don't want to deal with the issues they have in life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I appreciate
but
that, Alex.
Some of the drugs are pretty intense, those psychedelic ones. You do see stuff and all sorts of wacky things, I've seen like a giant teddy bear in a cloud, double rainbows. Like, yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. I never got into that. What's funny to me is it's bizarre hearing you guys, the Gen Z people and the younger Gen Y, the younger millennials, like good kids. Like, well, I think of them as having been good kids. I don't know what they were like when they were kids. Now they're adults, right? Joel used to do stuff. Esteban really got into stuff. And now they're both cleaner than the rest of us. But it's wild because they got into it. It's like good kids are getting into it. It's crazy.
Yeah, they are, because a lot of the D's, I think we just grew up in a time where the parents could be quite like conniving. I don't know if that's the word. But, you know, trick the kids a bit, and you believe in your parents, and maybe they're not the best examples.
Right.
And then when you get older, you usually find that the issues stack up, and you kind of put on facade and then get into the things. But there's a lot of Z's in Australia that are, you know, crystal meth is very high.
Wow.
Yeah, you know.
Those whites, it's whites that are getting into that, crystal meth?
Right, 100%, yeah.
It's crazy, man. Not good. The whites are not handling our issues correctly. Say that again?
What? I said black do crack. What did you say?
I said, yeah, that's true. I said the whites are not handling their issues correctly. So they're getting into the drugs and... I've noticed that, the Z's definitely, but I just believe it's from the spiritual trauma Jesse's talking about. Yeah.
The Z's just, it was just like that. It was like people just getting into willy-nilly, like every, bad kind of thing. But I don't believe we were kind of taught to do the right stuff anyway, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
Yeah.
Alex, nice to hear from you, man.
Yeah, thanks so much. You guys helped me so much. You know, I've come off all drugs, and I'm, trying to do the right thing completely. I, have full faith in God now. So thanks a lot.
It's good to hear, man. Stay with it.
Yeah. Thank you, Hake.
All right.
And thanks, Joel, Jesse. Yeah, thanks.
Nice.
The chat. Awesome.
Can I tell them who you are in the chat?
Right, yeah.
This is Blatt Salad. Yeah. Yeah, Alex from Australia is Blatt Salad.
Exposed.
Nice. Doxed.
Awesome.
But I appreciate you, man.
Doxed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers.
All right, take care.
Thanks. I found out so much about my parents, definitely, had the conversations with them about even their parents, figured out why they did the things that they did, and I figured out how bad I was eventually. You start delving, you start realizing, you haven't been doing right, and I definitely would recommend anyone to just do the silent prayer.
Yeah.
Go out somewhere. You could go outside, sit on a bench, and just be quiet in your head, for a bit. Just don't think. Just eyes closed and just let go. And he just knows what to do.
Nice.
My bad.
Right on, Alex.
Yeah.
Appreciate that that plug. Yeah, definitely.
Cheers.
Take care, man.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
All right. 22 years old. That's nice. He's lived quite a wild life, I guess, from what he says. That's cool. I could listen to him all day. He has a cool accent. Australians, man. The prison culture, right? Weren't they the prisoners of the British? They didn't know what to do with their criminals, so they sent them over there. That's what I heard. Now they're better people than the British. But all the white countries are cooked. Joel, you're into astrology? He's a Gemini.
I just wonder because I just picture him differently in the chat.
Right.
His energy on a call. So is he a Gemini? Does he have Two sides.
Yeah. That's funny. I don't know about all that stuff. I was raised Christian.
Right.
Anyways, let me get to some more calls. Michael, thank you for holding out of Los Angeles. Michael, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks for holding, man. What's up?
How you doing, James? You guys are doing a great job today.
Thank you. Doing fine.
I seen that Gazi Kodzo thing with Jesse on the Fallen State that he never put out.
Yeah, right.
I was wondering if there was any truth to what he was saying about there being a traitor leaking him information, and then what was that like, just getting the guy out of the building? He was a lunatic.
Yeah, he was psycho. There was everything that he said, it was remarkable, was a lie. He everything that he said was a lie. It was amazing. He's referring to a psycho who we foolishly allowed into our building to be a guest on the Fallen State. For those of you who are listening, don't know who he's referring to. And he put out this video. He just basically came in here to pull a stunt and make a scene and lie and smear and just be evil. And he's a miserable person. I thought that he was a woman, to be honest. He was scheduled to be on the Jesse Lee Peterson show years ago, but something went wrong. The Skype wasn't working, and then he flipped out. And, it's funny. He was supposed to be on the Hake report afterwards. And I was like dragging my feet about having him on. I'm like, no, I'm nervous about this guy. I don't like it. But then I thought maybe I'm just being a coward, right? Because I wasn't having a lot of guests on. And so maybe I had a little hesitation about having any guests on. But no, it turns out my instincts were right not to have him on. And so, yeah, he was lying. What was your other question? I think you had
I think he would have handled your situation a lot differently, because I don't know if you're familiar with Gavin McInnes, but he had him on his show a while back, and Gavin completely shut him down, for anyone that wants to watch it.
Was that over Skype or was that in person?
It was over Skype. But even over Skype, I've seen the guy just he blows up at a lot of his own people, like black people, like he did with Jesse.
He's an angry, miserable... Basically, everything that he said was true about himself and not us or Jesse. So, yeah. We just don't want to give... We don't want to feed it, because it's just... You're feeding somebody's ego, and then they just live off of that. So, we're just paying no mind. I appreciate you, Michael. Good to hear from you, man.
All righty, thank you.
Take
See
care.
you guys at church.
All right.
All right.
Take care. Let me get to Willie, first-time caller out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Willie, are you proud of your Senator Mitt Romney?
I am not, but I'll tell you what, the media has got a lot of people in this state praising him for, saying, oh, that was such a principled thing to do. You are so great. He was so great. I've actually heard people say that.
It's ridiculous. Nothing principled about
shocking,
Mitt Romney. Anyways, you called about something else. Unless you wanted to say something else.
I wanted to just first say how much I appreciate Jesse and you for the work you do. And it's a great show. I try to tune in when I can at work. You guys are spreading common sense and upholding traditional values better than anyone else I know in the entire country.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So about 3-4 callers ago, you had the guy who was in favor of marijuana.
Yeah.
And I just, he didn't articulate his argument very well, and so I'm taking that up.
Okay.
You are aware that on the first page of the Bible, it says in 3 places that the herb is good for you. And I'll just quote one verse because it's so short.
Okay.
And God said, behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So, and the herb, the marijuana, does yield seed after itself. It meets this definition. And God put it here on the earth for man to use. And all of these plants and products, of every type on the earth have valuable uses for mankind. And, some plants help our kidney, some plants help our heart. And I think that what that gentleman was saying was that some plants help our minds. And so I just thought that I would call in and say, no, the Bible on the damn first page says that marijuana is good for you. It's put here for your use by God to help you.
But it doesn't say marijuana specifically. I know you say that marijuana is included in that definition of herb, but it doesn't say marijuana specifically. And the Bible is not for getting high or getting intoxicated, inebriated, altering your mind. And
actually, what it's...
hold on, let me just finish this point.
Okay.
Marijuana culture, most of it today is like undeniable. It's about getting high. It's about degeneracy. And so maybe there's people out there that use like the kind that supposedly doesn't get you high, and there are benefits to it. But that's my point. Make sense?
Well, the scripture actually says, I have given you every herb. It doesn't say just herbs approved by the FDA or by the liquor industry. It says every herb. And, I'll just share this with you.
I know, but listen, Willie, you're telling me that, but it doesn't mean that it's good to smoke. It doesn't mean that it's good to get high off of.
Well, that is your interpretation, and
no, you're the one interpreting though, because I didn't interpret anything. I'm just citing common sense. Hold on, I'm just citing common sense says it's best to be clear-minded.
Well, that is maybe your opinion. Let me just say this.
That's not an opinion.
There's many.
Hold on, Willie. Let me stop you there.
High.
Let me stop you there. Are you saying that it's not best to be clear-minded?
I'm saying that yes, I'm saying under certain circumstances, I will say that the use of natural plants that they're good for you and that it's just fine. And you say the word getting high, you want to apply the word getting high to every substance in earth. Now, meth is different than heroin, is different than alcohol. Everybody uses the word getting high. Now, being drunk, falling down like an idiot, or even using alcohol at all is horrible. But alcohol, as that earlier caller said, is not natural. It's not a herb that was given by God. It's some chemically altered nightmare, just like meth is a chemically altered nightmare. And I agree with that caller.
All right. That caller, man, are you referring to Tony out of California? The 50-something-year-old immature one who doesn't like labels?
Well, I'm, to be honest with you, I don't remember his name.
Okay.
But, yeah, I think that, for example, if you look at some of the greatest music, the greatest art, it comes from people who have settled their mind.
No, that's not true. Those people are the most miserable people. At least to the recent great music, those are miserable people.
Well, I'm too old to talk about recent. Let's talk about the 60s. Where
that's what I'm talking about, the 60s. I'm talking about the
Beatles.
Beatles.
Their music.
The Beatles guy was a horrible... Hold on. The Beatles guy was a horrible person. Miserable person, too.
Which one?
Well, all of them, but I'm referring specifically to the one who got shot in his front yard or whatever.
John Lennon.
Yeah, John Lennon. He was a miserable, horrible, angry person. Liberal, too.
I'm not sure. I don't know the man. And
I read about him. It's a fact. No, I'm playing. But, man, all right. Well, I appreciate your support.
For you. James,
Yeah.
can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've said this. I don't know how I picked this up, but I believe from what you've said that I've heard that you were in the Army.
No. I was
weren't.
never
Okay.
yeah, I was never in the military. I was
What do
thinking
you-
of going when I was a freshman in high school, but my parents were like, "No, you're going to college."
What do you think about the United States over there mass killing the Muslims, the shoeless mountain peasants in Afghanistan who have never done anything to us? And we're bombing them and just slaughtering them left and right. Do you think the generals from the U.S. who were responsible for that should be put on trial and, if guilty, severely punished?
I don't know the situation. So, no, I can't comment on that.
I sure do. It makes me sick. It makes me ashamed of my country that we're mass killing innocent. These people are so poor. Their biggest transport method is a damn bicycle. And they're over there defending their homeland and their people and their women, living the life that you, me, and Jesse all believe people should live. Humble, God believers, and we're mass slaughtering them. And
You know-
it does make me.
Where are you getting this information from? And I'm not saying that it's not true or it is true. I just don't even. Well, for one thing, okay, let's just leave that alone. But it's not good to get that emotional about it. If it's wrong, and you speak out against it and fight against it. But you're getting sick over it. No, man, you got to be.
Wait a minute,
even.
James. We're talking about mountains of corpses.
That's fine.
Of children and women.
That's fine.
And you're saying, oh, we should just be all mellow and,
Yes.
well, you know, let's just go drop 100,000.
Aren't you in support of
tons of bombs. And we should be mellow?
Yeah, you definitely
I
shouldn't
don't
be
think that's
all
what Jesus
sick
said.
over it. You shouldn't be sick
I
over it.
think Jesus said you're supposed to take out your sword and cut off their ear, didn't he?
No, he said, no, there's a time not to do that. Remember, he cut off. Anyways, man. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with you. But
I
you listen to
agree with
Jesse's
everything
church
you
with
guys
Jesse Lee
say.
Peterson?
Oh, repeat that, please.
Do you listen to church with Jesse Lee Peterson?
You know, I only listen during the week when I'm at work.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then only sometimes.
Yeah, I understand. That's how I was. I was working, and so I listened when I could.
I've told many people about how important it is to understand the whole hatred cycle.
Right.
And women go insane because they hate their mothers. I mean, that's so perfect.
Exactly. So that's my point is Jesse Lee Peterson, and even in the Bible it says, do not be overcome by evil. Don't hate evil, overcome evil with good. You getting sick and emotional about this situation in Afghanistan, as well, whatever is going on over there. For one, you may not have the story exactly right, and for two, getting emotional about the evil is not going to serve you or the country right. So that's all I mean.
You know,
by
we'll
that.
just have to disagree on that. You know
All right.
the story of when Mitt Romney held the homosexual down and cut his hair off?
I heard something like that. I don't know or care about that story. That came up during the campaign in 2012 or something like that. I'm like,
he had a gang of gang members.
I'm not even
They held the
interested in
kid
it, to be
down.
honest, man.
And Romney cut off his hair, and they've signed sworn affidavits. You can Google it.
But who cares?
That-
Everybody can sign an affidavit. It's like you
These
can't
are
even prove.
responsible, wealthy, affluent businessmen who went to school with Mitt Romney, who participated in the atrocity and are ashamed of what they did.
That's not an atrocity, man. It's a high school prank by
To hold
bullies.
another human being down and cut his hair off
Right.
while he cries for
Yes.
mercy?
Yeah, that's not an atrocity.
No, that's a crime.
It may be
That's
it may be a crime by minors. I think they were minors at the time. It may be a crime. You could definitely call it a crime, assault or something like that.
It's called kidnapping.
Okay,
Look at the definition of
but you called it
kidnapping.
an atrocity. You're using like dramatic language. An atrocity is if like you disfigure him or
I've
something.
done lots of bad things in my life, and I bet you have too. I bet you've never done anything as bad as that.
No, you better not be comparing evil to evil. You just go stick with what's right, man. Anyways, Willie, nice talking with you, man. I definitely appreciate hearing your perspective.
And you guys keep up the great work.
Thank you. Take care, man.
Okay.
Very interesting, man. Oh, man. Okay, let me read some of the last super chats. Cece with a diamond. Did the creek rose on Earl? I'm worrying. Oh, I don't know if I read that one already. When you stop pot, dreams come back, says Genbug. Dark side of the bear. What? Says pineal gland. Pineal gland. Thank you. She's telling us how to pronounce it, I think. Jimmy DM. Wow, Joelle was killing it with the wise advice today. Yeah, right on. And then Dark Side of the Bear. What? Says Wolf, a guy who turns water to wine, definitely parties. Okay, thank you guys. So let me get to Josh out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. What's up, Josh? Nice to hear from you. Thanks for holding.
Hey, no problem, man. How you doing?
Doing fine. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I was just going to call in and say that just wanted to recommend to all the younger guys who are trying to get away from mama to consider truck driving, man.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. I'm an over-the-road driver, and all I do is really just listen to every show, just about every church.
Nice.
And I just ride in silence a lot, trying to come out of my thoughts.
Cool.
And come out of my imagination. You know, and it's the perfect job to get away from mama and just kind of work on yourself and save money to buy up a nice piece of land, you know?
You got to own some land. What's wrong with you? Right on, man. Good advice.
Yep.
I hear people say that trucking is they call it a dying industry because of self-driving cars in the next 10 to 20 years. But in the meantime, be trucking. There's a lot of really good guys who are truckers who listen to the show. Black guys too.
Right.
I never knew there were so many black truckers.
Yeah, because I think it's, you know, it's like I think they say that to discourage men from getting into trucking. It's the perfect job for a man to you know, depend on themselves, grow up.
Think of all that skill that it takes.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah. And I mean, and you're independent and you're logical. You got to think logically.
Right.
You know, constantly.
And you've got to be cool-headed.
Right. And I went to college and got a degree, and I lived all the liberal. I voted for Obama twice.
Dang.
And I'm 32 now, and it's like if I could go back to when I was 18, I would have never went to college. I would have just started trucking and just saving my money and buy a farm or something, you know?
Right on.
So it's I just appreciate all the content you put out. Are you the one that puts out all the content, man? Because
no, I put out a lot of it, but not all of it. Nick puts out some. Joel, all these guys. Yeah.
I think I've listened to every video, man, because I just drive 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I just kick it into cruise control and just listen to Jesse. And then I just have a quiet time a lot too. And
good.
It's the perfect job for a young man trying to rebuild himself, you know?
Well, thank you for the tip, Josh. Appreciate that. Are you black?
Yep. Yeah. I'm from Georgia. And so I give a shout out to Sion and Hot Computer Smell and Skip.
Right on.
All my Georgia people, I'm cool with them. But I'm black.
Cool. Right on, Josh. Appreciate you, man.
Okay.
All right.
Appreciate you too, man. I'll be in touch.
Take care. Right. Let me get to John, first-time caller out of New York. John, thanks for calling. What's up?
Hey, what's up, James?
Hey.
Good to talk to you.
Yeah, you as well.
So, did you see that recent thing? I guess after Trump, speech after the acquittal, Pelosi came out and said that he seemed sedated.
I saw a headline about that. That Nancy Pelosi went and said He seems sedated.
I mean,
usually it seems like the other way around, right?
Right, like the gall on this woman who, I mean, there are countless videos of her just seeming blitzed out of her gourd. I mean, stuttering, slurring, I mean, she's zonked out on benzos and Chardonnay probably for the past 20 years.
Who knows?
Everybody knows that. It was just a little much to hear that from her.
Pots and kettles, right? Actually, he was not. He was not.
Yeah, how's that saying go? Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's, her teeth falling out sometimes because she's so zonked out. She can't even keep her dentures in her mouth.
I haven't seen that.
It's not a good look.
Yeah. That's wild, man. She's such a hypocrite.
Dirt.
Say that again?
I said she must have a lot of dirt on everybody because there's no way at 80 years old, right, to still be in office, like in the condition she's in, she must have a black book of just all the dirty deeds of a lot of people.
I don't think it's even that. It may be, but I don't necessarily even think it requires that. I think it could be just as simple as she has that, what Jesse Lee Peterson might describe as that mama spirit, and that just controls people. I really think that might be it. I think she's just the female spirit rules over beta males, but she can't rule over Trump, and so she's just mad about that.
That's why they're extra mad. Yeah, they've been able to do whatever they want for a long time, and Trump has been like the one real opposition to that whole radical left, and they're freaking out. They can't handle it. They're going to try and impeach him again. They already
I know.
said it. They're like, oh, we're not going to stop.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Good tip.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks, Dave.
Take care, man. Let me get to Chris out of Los Angeles. Chris, thank you for calling. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Hake? Calling you back, man. Remember our discussion Tuesday?
So you're the one who's you were born in America. Did you call yourself Mexican American or just your parents? And you're a veteran. You served in the military, and we had this big debate about
yeah, and I cussed on your show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember.
I put out the excerpt. It was a great excerpt, and I wanted to make that point about people are upset that, especially whites, are upset that when a white guy calls out a Mexican father who's complaining about racism, why didn't you stay in Mexico? That other Hispanics get offended on behalf of that father who may not have been a good person. And so I don't like that identifying with this guy and getting offended on his behalf just because you identify with that.
Because, well, let me answer your question.
Okay.
So the problem is that people do that all the time, not realizing that, we're Americans too. We come to this country, or our ancestors came to this country. I didn't. I was born here, but, our ancestors come here.
Yeah.
To live a better life. And they come and are contributing people. They're good people. And they want to be Americans, contributing Americans. And, they treat us like, oh, you don't belong here. It's like, dude, you don't belong here either. Like, your ancestors came here just like ours did. So, why do you act like we don't have a right to say anything and speak out against, injustice? The guy wasn't talking about the country. He was talking about how his son was being treated.
Right. But man, there's three things with that. Let's see if I can remember them. One of them, you said, we come here for a better life. That is a line that is overused, and I don't know if I don't think that you're liberal. I think that you said that you're not. But that is a line abused by the liberals so badly that I have no sympathy for people claiming that they come here for a better life, because that's just words. I want people to be for character. And whites, rightly, I think, are getting sick of this complaining about racism supposedly happening. And this was a whole meeting about racism. And racism, I don't know if you're aware, but it's a false vice. And it's just used to attack whites and just upend the country and subvert the country and turn it into something evil, all under the pretense of treating each other right, you know? And so this guy coming in to a racism meeting complaining that his child was crying, I don't necessarily buy into that. I don't feel sorry for him.
Country.
Yeah. He was crying about how he was being treated.
And you took the giant leap, made it about the country.
Right, but it is kind of about the country because this stuff is happening across the country, and it's happening against white people who may not even be wrong. Kids are making each other cry all the time.
You're doing the same thing that you're complaining about by saying that, oh, poor us, we're under attack. Like,
yeah, and whites should not be. But I'm telling you, you're being used by evil by identifying with that, and whites too. If we get angry,
look,
and if we feel like victims, we're hold on.
I've got to where I am at in my life because I just work hard and I do the right because of my character. I've had people call me out for being Mexican or whatever. Like, it's never stopped me. So I'm not in that boat, but I can't stand when people say, "Oh, go back to Mexico. You don't have a right to speak your mind." Like, it's like,
hey man, hey Chris, if they tell you that, they're lost. Don't let it get to you. But let's talk again. Let's talk again.
I don't appreciate that. All right, yeah, I'll be calling you back for sure.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right, guys. Maze, Alex out of Arizona, Norin out of Idaho. I think I pronounced it right. I'm sorry I can't get to you, but let's talk again on Sunday, and we'll deal with this. Very good conversation. I want to deal with that issue with Chris because it's unnecessarily dividing Christians who are being used by evil. Let's talk about this. I don't appreciate it. Don't fall into that trap. But we'll deal with it. All right, guys. My show on Sunday on my channels. Thank you to Jesse for letting me be on your channels Monday through Friday. You can't hear me because you're speaking. But anyways, guys, church on Sunday, church with Jesse Lee Peterson. And of course, The Fallen State at noon today, just in a couple of hours. I think it should be released, unless I'm mistaken. And so Jesse will be back in town. Make sure you get to church, rebuildingtheman.com/church. Highly recommended. All right, guys, take care.